Good evening, this is Rashad Mitchell coming to you live from my YouTube channel. It's like a team on my part series. The week that was college football history review, the 1971 college football season. This is week 8. The games are played on October 29th as well as October 30th, 1971, week 8. Here we go. On Friday, Miami beat Army 24-13. Alert Army turned the Hurricanes defensive back Burgess Owens fumble at Miami 29-yard line and 46-yard interception return by Cadets linebacker Peter Bucha into pair of second quarter touchdowns for a 13-3 lead. But Miami halfback Tom Sullivan roared scot-free down sideline for a 99-yard kickoff return for a touchdown right after the touchdown run by Cadets fullback Bob Hines. A quarterback John Hornibrook scored on the 16-yard run for first of his 2 touchdowns for 16-13 lead for Canes before halftime. Miami suffered 4 lost fumbles. Bucha's interception and blocked punt by Army linebacker Scott Beatty, but ran for 217 yards, including tailback Chuck Foreman's 119 yards and 22 carries. Penn State, the number 6 team in the country, beat West Virginia 35-7. Nittany Lions broke open 7-7 third quarter slugfest with 4 touchdowns at the fumble punt by West Virginia defensive back John Billets. Open floodgates from West Virginia 45-yard line. Penn State rolled halfback Lydell Mitchell for 128 yards and 24 carries. Fullback Franco Harris caught a 7-yard touchdown pass from quarterback John Huffnagel. Mitchell added 2 touchdown runs for his 15th and 16th scores of season. New school record. Mountaineers struggled to score without their version of Mitchell-Harris combo. An injured backfield mates like tailback Kirby Marbury and fullback Pete Wood, tailback Mike Nelson scored sole touchdown for home team. Tye scored in the third quarter on an 8-yard touchdown run. Cornell beat Columbia 24-21 as tailback Ed Marinaro rushed for 272 yards, scored 2 touchdowns, continued rewriting record books while leading Cornell to victory. Marinaro broke national career rushing mark with 3,867 yards. Oklahoma's Steve Owens on his second carry of the game and later cracked elusive 4,000-yard barrier. Despite Marinaro's performance, Cornell could not subdue Columbia Lions until kicker John Polinia's fourth quarter 37-yard field goal. Quarterback Don Jackson kept Lions close with touchdown pass and completions that set up other 2 scores, but was picked off 4 times, 2 by standout Big Red linebacker Bob Lally. Mississippi beat number 11 Louisiana State by a score of 24-22. Ole Miss Rebels gained revenge for 61-17 whipping the 1970 quarterback Norris Reese had led 3 scoring drives in the first half to stake the team to a 21-0 lead. LSU finished with Wild Rally, scoring 2 touchdowns before running out of time on a third drive to the Rebels' 36-yard line, all in last 3 minutes. Mississippi scored quickly in the first half as tailback Greg Ainsworth, fullback Ricky Hubbard each ran in 1-yard touchdowns, and Weiss completed 3 passes on a 60-yard drive to 14-yard keeper for 21-0 Bulge. Now, Bengals rolled twin quarterbacks Burt Jones and Paul Lyons, who combined for 255 yards passing. Michigan State defeated Purdue by a score of 43-10. Nebraska, number 1 team in the country, beat number 9 Colorado in a battle of 2 top 10 teams. Number 1 Nebraska beat Colorado, the number 9 team in the country, 31-7. Now, if only Buffaloes could play in another conference, anywhere but Big 8, owned by mighty Nebraska and Oklahoma. Huskers' star latent defense sparkled, holding Colorado's offensive studs like quarterback Ken Johnson, tailback Charles Davis, and wide receiver Cliff Branch to 83 yards rushing and 52 yards passing. Nebraska linebacker Bob Terrio had 13 tackles, and meanwhile nose guard Rich Glover had 12 tackles, were leading punishers of Colorado. I-back Jeff Kinney scored twice to set Huskers' record for career touchdowns with 29. Nebraska beat Colorado 31-7. Texas A&M upset number 8 Arkansas 17-9. The Arkansas expected to walk away with the Southwest crown after beating Texas, but was stunned by Aggies. Abysmal rushing effort, 50 yards on 32 carries, pressured Hogs' passing game that went nowhere. So tailback Mark Greenwell had 102 yards rushing on 27 carries, 2 touchdowns, led the opportunistic Texas A&M that scored off 3 turnovers without committing any errors. Now, Green's first touchdown came at the muff punt by Porky's defensive back Jack Morris, which was recovered by A&M tailback Steve Burks. Next, Aggies scoring drive began on Hogs' 47-yard line after a big hit by linebacker Grady Horman. Hogs fumbled by Hogs tight end Bobby Nichols to set up a 37-yard field goal by kicker Pat McDermott. Intercepted by safety David Hoot. 3 plays later was converted into a 20-yard touchdown run by Green. Quarterback Joe Ferguson threw for 345 yards to pace Razorbacks. TCU, Texas Christian, beat Baylor by a score of 34-27. TCU coach Jim Pittman's death from heart attack overshadowed the game. Quarterback Steve Judy, who raced off field when Pittman collapsed less than 5 minutes into the game, ran and passed for 4 touchdowns. Halfback Larry Harris rushed for 113 yards and touchdown for Horned Frogs. Baylor led 27-20 early in the third quarter on a 34-yard touchdown run by halfback Matthew Williams, following interception by safety Phil Bill. Judy then led 75-yard drive to time 5-yard keeper before Toski winning 10-yard touchdown pass in fourth quarter to tight end Ronnie Peoples. Final Baylor drive ended with interception by cornerback Lyle Blackwood on TCU 19-yard line. Last but not least, Arizona State, the number 13 team in the country, beat number 18 Air Force 44-28 as high-powered Arizona State exploded in the third quarter for 4 touchdowns to break the open a game that was tight game at the time. But Sun Devils halfback like Benny Malone had 192 yards rushing, 22 carries and 2 touchdowns, and quarterback Danny White, who threw for 334 yards, 3 touchdowns and an interception on 17 of 37 passing, sparked it in the third quarter. With Malone scoring his second touchdown and White throwing 2 scoring passes and running in another. Now White completed 10 of 16 for 243 yards in the third quarter alone, with 76 yards coming in one chunk on a screen pass that halfback Woody Green took to the end zone. Air Force, meanwhile, had jumped to a 15-10 halftime lead behind quarterback Rich Haney, who kept the Fly Boys alive with 2 touchdown passes. So that concludes a look at Week 8, October 29th, the game that was played on October 29th. Miami beating Army 24-13. But overall, Week 8 of October 30th, 1971, the week that was college football history review, the 1971 college football season. Here's the AP poll for November 1st. You had Nebraska at number 1, number 2, Oklahoma, 3, Michigan, 4, Alabama, 5, Auburn, 6, Penn State, 7, Georgia, 8, Notre Dame, 9, Ohio State. Number 10 was Arizona State. The rest of the top 20 round out as this. Tennessee, number 11, Stanford, 12, Colorado, 13, 14, Toledo, 15, Texas, 16, Arkansas, 17, Southern California, 18, Louisiana State, 19, Houston, and number 20, Washington. So that concludes a look at the week that was college football history review, the 1971 college football season, the week that was for Week 8, the games that were played on October 30th, 1971, also the game that was played on October 29th, 1971 between Miami and Army. Please like and subscribe and comment on the channel. Do a video on this magnitude tomorrow. Until then, talk to you soon.